We're now joined by Harry Jacobs for USA Lacrosse. Harry, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things that you guys have going on, but an important issue that I know it's not just lacrosse that's dealing with it, but it's across the board. It's the shortage of officials that we're going through at all different levels. What have you realized here with USA Lacrosse in trying to recruit officials, especially considering what the environments are like in some of these youth programs for the officials that are trying to help out?
Yeah, it's a real, I would say it's probably a crisis right now that's going on. And as I said, it's not just unique to lacrosse, baseball, softball, hockey. I mean, every, youth sport that's out there. And I'll tell you, we probably could have done a better job getting ahead of it coming out of, the pandemic. All right. What we're seeing in the lacrosse world is an awful lot of the senior referees who came out of the pandemic and decided, you know what, I've about had it. All right. And so I'm not gonna come back. I have some good friends of mine who I go, why are you not on the sideline? Why are you not on the sidelines and not out on the field? They're just like, after the pandemic, I had to reevaluate and I don't want to get back out on the field. So and then the recruiting kind of stopped. All right, because of the pandemic. Now we come into a full season again, and thank God we're in a full season, and we have this shortage. And then on the other piece is some of the behavior we see on the fields. All right, not only from some coaches but from some parents and even some of the players. It's usually not the players. It's it's the other people who are causing some referees to say, "I don't need this." So, I think it's a crisis.
And so what are the things that you guys are trying to do to maybe recruit people? And what do you say to people who may want to get involved?
Well, I'll tell you, many years ago, I was an official. Okay. And because of some, work responsibilities, I had to give it up. But some of my best friends are officials and they do a great job. All right. And I would say to you that we are looking to get more and more officials, people involved in the official side of the game. We're going to be starting to roll out, all right, our Laredo program, which will be on the women's side and the men's side which is basically bringing a lot of officials together, or people are, interested in being officials, all right, and having them, learn from some of the better officials and to try to get, more officials recruited. On the other hand, I recommend to every youth organization to start a junior officials organization, all right? And to have these junior officials who are basically, high schoolers, all right? Even some college kids that come back, all right? And to get them out on the field. And what, as I said, you're going to wind up getting someone who loves the game and they want to continue to be in the game and they can be part of that third team, which is really the officials. So it's really everybody taking a real concerted effort and really looking at it that we need to help recruit these officials, all right, and get people to come into the game. But I have to tell you, and I know I've mentioned it before, the bad behavior doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. And it makes people not want to go take it and being an official and hear it from parents the entire game. I mean, what are some of the strategies USA Lacrosse is trying to implement and help some of these organizations who are having to deal with some of the parents and having such a hard time?
Well, with our local, with our local official organizations, all right, we have a grant program that can help them with to be able to, go out and work with these new officials that are coming in. All right. And to make them better, it's actually like a field monitoring type of, program where you're actually, helping these officials along, as I said, usually with more senior officials. All right. And trying to get them up to speed as quick as possible. All right. And then also just trying to help these local official organizations to help find officials. Where can you get them? Can you speak to the basketball officials? Can you speak to some of the soccer officials and part of the concern is they're all looking for more officials.
Yeah.
So, and it's gonna get to the point, and I'll give you just an example. Up in Connecticut, we had a program that made a decision that every single one of their coaches, all right, was going to also take the junior official type classes. So just in case they had a game and no officials showed up, because you are starting to hear that. So they're like, hey, look, we want to have our coaches become officials. And then you would take a coach from one team and a coach from another team, put their stripes on and have them go out and officiate the game. Now, it's not the best solution, all right, but it is a solution.
Yeah, and it keeps games happening on the field, which is obviously the most important part for these kids that are participating. One of the other major initiatives for not only just you in the Northeast region, but all of USA Lacrosse has been surrounding diversity. What are some of the things that you guys have been involved with in the Northeast region all over in all different sections about continuing to expand the game?
Yeah, we have many organizations that have, jumped in on our Sankofa clinics. Okay. And our Sankofa clinics are really, they're set up where we're going into these more diverse communities. All right. And what we're doing is we're trying to get them to, to see the game where the clinicians that come out look like the kids that we have coming. So if we have, a large Latino, community, all right, we can have people come in there so they feel a little bit more comfortable. Our Sankofas have been very, very successful. And basically, we're bringing kids in. There's no charge. They're getting a free stick. They're getting a T-shirt. They're having fun, which is something that we forget sometimes, that the game should be really fun.
Yeah.
All right. And these kids are having fun. They're getting a taste of a great game that they might not have gotten otherwise, right? So they've been very successful. And we've had programs like the Harlem Jets. The Harlem Jets is a traditional football and cheerleading organization, all right, that decided to, hey, we're going to start a lacrosse program. And the way we started that off was the local chapter on Long Island was able to get them some equipment. And then they did a Sankofa. Then they started doing these like Sunday clinics. And now they're just, they're going full speed right now with the lacrosse program. And that is primarily an extremely diverse population where they are. So you have all these kids that you usually don't see, especially, out on Long Island here. All right. Where, most of the schools are traditionally, okay, they're white. They look like us. All right. But then there are some programs that just, they're doing the Sankofas. They're getting the kids to come in. The kids are loving the game, right? And things are going great for them.
Well, that's the thing. And I think we say it all the time. You give a kid a stick and the opportunity and learn some of the rules and what to do, they're going to get drawn to it because it's such a fun game to play. It's,
and there's so many communities that, that like need help. I just last week was involved with it was a partnership between USA Lacrosse, Lacrosse Unlimited, which is a pretty big, lacrosse store with Joe DeSimone on Long Island, and also with the Long Island chapter of USA Lacrosse and Mike Nelson and his, team, where town out on Long Island, which is Brentwood, okay? Brentwood, Long Island, the girls haven't had new equipment in like 10 years. They have a varsity JV, 4 middle school teams. We were able to, help them. And I think it was about $15,000 worth of wholesale equipment we brought them. And I have to tell you something, to be able to help those girls, and what those girls were so appreciative of what was done for them. All right. Because, they're in a very, low economic area. And the school district, it's one of the biggest school districts in the state of New York. All right. We were able to actually supply them with something they never thought that they would get. And it was, so that's how we're going to grow the game. We're going to grow the game by giving back. All right. And, that's what the Sankofa does. That's what, some of our other programs that we have. all right, doing something like this where it's a collaboration between a great organization like Lacrosse Unlimited, us at USA Lacrosse, and being able to work together, where probably any one of us that did it, on our own, probably wouldn't have been able to make wouldn't have been able to make the impact that we made on those kids. So
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Speaking of awesome, going to be an awesome opportunity for people in Long Island to see some of the best women's players in the world coming up in June. You guys are putting on USA Lacrosse, the women's national team, as they gear up for the World Championships, taking on a group of players from Athletes Unlimited at Stony Brook. Tell people how exciting an opportunity this is as you see both groups kind of gearing up for whether it's the World Championships or the Athletes Unlimited season, and what all the money is going to be going towards.
Yeah, it's gonna, it's not easy to have a national team. Okay, so it was a way to, hey, we wanted to do some fundraising for them. All right, it's a great group of ladies that are on that team, and this was a good thing. I got the call from Baltimore. They said, hey, we're thinking about having them come to Long Island. I don't know if you know, but the coach of the national team is Joe Spallina from Stony Brook University. Right? So kind of all worked out. And then to be able to bring everybody in to this one location on, June 8th, those girls I mentioned to you from Brentwood, we're going to be inviting them to all come down, all right, to see, some of the best players in the world. And it's going to be, as I said, we're doing it as a fundraiser. And, we have such a, huge women's lacrosse here on Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk, PAL teams, the Suffolk girls, that are out, in Suffolk County. We have, it's just a great opportunity for them to see, the USA team. And on the USA team, you got Kylie Oldmiller, who was a Stony Brook player. All right. So she gets to come home. All right. So it should be, I tell you, it should be a great event. Hopefully people will take advantage of it and come on out. So now not only can you help your national team, all right, but you can also get to see some great lacrosse.
Yeah, terrific opportunity. And to see the sport played at that level with those athletes is something special that everybody should take advantage of there on Long Island. Harry, keep up all the terrific work you guys are doing. We appreciate the time, and good luck as we look ahead to the summer.
Hey, always a pleasure. All right. Hope to see you soon. All right. And thanks very much for giving us the opportunity to sit here and talk.